Some people walk into a room and instantly make you think, yep, this person has their life together. And then there are the others, the ones who walk in and make you think, oh, you're trying. Not succeeding, not failing, just trying so hard that it's loud. You can actually hear the effort. And the worst part, they think it's working. So let's talk about the dumbest ways people try to impress others. If you feel personally attacked at any point, don't worry. I'm attacking myself too. Here's number 1. Loudly mentioning expensive things you own. You're not just telling a story about your weekend. Oh no. You're carefully inserting the words, my Rolex, or my Tesla Model S Plaid into casual conversation like you're doing a product placement deal. You can't just say, I went for a drive. It's, I took my Tesla Plaid out for a spin, just to stretch her legs. Stretch her legs? It's a car, not a retired racehorse. The thing is, confident people don't need you to know their net worth through brand names. They just live. Trying to impress with possessions is like showing someone your grocery receipt. Congratulations, you can buy things. And here's the kicker. While you're talking, most people are mentally calculating how much you still owe on it. And they're rounding up generously. On number 2, we've got the humble brag Olympics. Someone says they went for a nice walk in the park. You, somehow, end up telling them about the time you were hiking in the Swiss Alps while working remotely, right after your 3rd promotion. It's never just a story. It's an audition for most accomplished human in the room. Humble bragging is just bragging in a bad disguise, like putting a fake mustache on a billboard. Everyone can still see it, and you always pause mid-sentence to make sure the subtle part of your flex landed. The irony? People remember the brag, not the story. So you just sound like a LinkedIn post that learned how to talk. Coming in at number 3, over-editing your social media photos. There's a difference between I adjusted the lighting and I removed my entire bone structure. If your Instagram selfies look like they were rendered on a gaming console, congratulations. You're not impressing anyone, you're just making them squint. Confidence is when your online self and your real-life self look like the same species. If people need Google Lens to verify it's you, you've gone too far. And the best part? All it takes is one unflattering tagged photo from a friend for the illusion to collapse. You go from mysterious influencer to, oh, that's them? In about 0.3 seconds. Number 4 is a classic, name dropping. Nothing screams, please validate me, like saying, oh yeah, I know someone who worked with Elon Musk. It's never direct. It's always 6 degrees of separation and 1 restraining order away. If you actually know someone interesting, it comes up naturally. But forcing it into conversation is like shoving a cat into a bathtub. Unnecessary, messy, and painful for everyone involved. And here's the part that really gets me. Half the time, you don't even have their number. You just follow them on LinkedIn. But hey, maybe one day they'll remember that one time you liked their post. Sure. On number 5 is the classic one-upping every single story. Your friend says they ran a 5K. You ran a marathon. They say they went to Italy. You went to Italy and met the Pope twice. You cannot physically let someone else have the best story in the room because you think winning the conversation is the same as being admired. It's not. It's just being exhausting in HD. The kicker? People don't remember your better story. They just remember you as the human version of a, well, actually comment. Number 6, pretending to understand topics you clearly don't. You're nodding along during a conversation about quantum mechanics, hoping nobody asks you to explain anything. Someone says blockchain, and you're already half under the table Googling blockchain's simple meaning. It's fine to not know things. In fact, people respect you more for admitting it. But pretending, that's a fast track to public humiliation, especially when you agree with a joke that was actually an insult. That's when the room silently agrees you're the group's entertainment for the night. Number 7, overdressing for casual situations. It's brunch, not the Met Gala. You're sitting in a plastic chair in a 3-piece suit eating pancakes because you never know who you'll meet. You look like you're here to network with the maple syrup. Confidence is dressing for yourself, not for imaginary paparazzi. And no, your cufflinks are not making those eggs taste better. Number 8, bragging about being busy. Oh, sorry I didn't text back. I've just been so busy. Busy isn't a personality trait. It's poor time management with better branding. Truly in-demand people don't talk about how busy they are. They're too busy doing things. Translation, you're not booked and busy. You're just booked and bad at calendars. And here's the truth. Nobody's jealous of your chaos schedule. Number 9, flashing cash. You're peeling off a $100 bill for a $3 coffee while making eye contact with the barista like it's a music video. Confidence is quiet, insecurity is loud, and nothing's louder than flexing at a cashier who's just trying to finish their shift. Meanwhile, your debit card is sweating in your wallet, praying the machine doesn't decline you in front of the line. And rounding out the main list at number 10, talking over people to sound smart. You wait for 0 seconds after they start speaking before jumping in with, sorry to interrupt, but like the world needs your sentence right now. Confident people let others finish. Insecure people panic that someone else might say something smarter than them. If your big point can't survive 10 more seconds of patience, maybe it wasn't that big. And spoiler, you didn't sound smart. You sounded like a podcast nobody listens to. Bonus point number 11, bragging about things that aren't impressive anymore. Owning DVDs, knowing every Friends episode by heart, not being on TikTok. You think you're unique. You're just doing stand-up from 2012. Confidence is timeless. This has an expiration date, and it passed 10 years ago. The only thing you're proving is that you've been out of the loop since the era of flip phones. You're not mysterious. You're just buffering. Here is bonus point number 12, overly theatrical reactions to compliments. Someone says, nice jacket, and you act like they just nominated you for an Oscar. You gasp, you blush, you start explaining where you bought it and how it was 40% off. Confident people say, thanks. Insecure people turn compliments into hostage negotiations. And the more you downplay it, the more it feels like you're begging for 10 more. You've officially turned a 2-second moment into an emotional TED Talk about your self-esteem. The thing about all these impressive tactics, they don't actually impress anyone. They just make you look like you're auditioning for a role that doesn't exist. Confidence isn't loud. It's not performative. It's not about convincing strangers you're important. Real confidence is when you stop performing and start existing. And ironically, that's when people are actually impressed. So be honest. Which one's yours? Drop it in the comments, roast yourself, and make me feel less alone in this human disaster experiment. And if this video made you laugh, cringe, or think of someone guilty of at least 3 of these, send it to them. They'll hate it, which means they'll watch it twice.